Welcome back to part 2 of my coaster awards for 2019. Let's get straight back into the categories with the best double launch coaster. And the nominees? Copperhead Strike, Icon, Helix, Taron, and Maverick. And the winner? Helix. This was a really tough pick, because Taron, Helix and Maverick are all amazing multi-launch coasters, and worthy of a spot in anyone's top list, but for me, Helix just has the edge. It may not be as aggressive or well-themed as Maverick or Taron, but it makes up for it with a fun, varied terrain coaster layout, a wide variety of forces with floater air, zero-G inversions, and some strong ejector airtime in places, and all this adds up to an excellently paced, brilliant coaster. Add to that the stunning views you get over Gothenburg from near the top, and you've got a truly magnificent ride, with many memorable moments. It's smooth, fast, reliable, and has a great soundtrack. It's a shame that the other Mack launch coasters, Icon and Copperhead Strike, just aren't anywhere near as good as this one. Best triple launch coaster, and the nominees? Star Trek Operation Enterprise, Capital Bullet Train, Fury, Gale Force, and Gold Rush. And the winner? Fury. Now this category of forwards, backwards, forwards triple launch coasters are something that's really exploded in popularity over the last few years, with several different manufacturers each offering different takes on the concept. Fury is a little different, as you have the choice of launching forwards or backwards first, which is a great way to extend the ride's appeal by offering two different ways to ride. Going backwards through the course at high speed was particularly thrilling, as you didn't really know what was going to happen next. The ride manages to pack in quite a lot into a small footprint, with a tight twisting layout and launches that have quite a kick to them, reaching an impressive top speed of over 65 miles an hour. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a lot of similar coasters appearing over the next few years, as they seem to offer the park a good investment, with two different ride experiences for the price and size of one. Best wing coaster, and the nominees? X-Flight, Flug der Damen, Wild Eagle, Thunderbird, and Gatekeeper. And the winner? Thunderbird. Thunderbird stands out from the other wing coasters manufactured by B&M in that it's the only one with a launch, and that launch actually has a decent kick to it. The rest of the ride layout is great fun too, swooping through the trees and through inversions, and pulling some strong positive Gs when it's close to the ground. I think that the forest setting and the way it dives between the trees really adds to the speed sensation and feeling of flight you get on this coaster, making it stand out when compared to the others. Best new coaster of 2019 that isn't called HAKUGEO. Steel Curtain, Zadra, Untamed, Yukon Striker, and Max Force. And the winner? Zadra. This year has had some great new coasters, but Zadra was an extra special surprise, as it wasn't even supposed to open this year. Originally planned to open in 2020, the coaster opened way ahead of schedule in August, a feat made even more impressive by how it was badly damaged during a storm earlier in the year. Zadra offers a ride that just gets increasingly more intense as the day goes on, and has some truly breathtaking moments, like that massive zero-G stall. It has some unique airtime moments, great pacing, and looks absolutely stunning in a brand new area of the park. Whilst HAKUGEO remains my number one coaster, and as such the best new ride of 2019, Zadra makes for a very worthy second place, and in another year with less stiff competition, it could very well have been the overall winner. Best cloned coaster. The nominees? Batman the Ride, Skyrocket 2s, Giant Inverted Boomerangs, Shuttle Loops, and Manta or Acrobat. And the winner? Batman the Ride. I thought this could be a good category to celebrate some of the more common coasters you see in parks, with a look at some of the rides that have multiple copies around the world. Whilst I love a classic Schwarzkopf Shuttle Loop, the first ever B&M invert model Batman is a clear winner here. Whilst it may not be as good as some of the other inverted coasters, it still packs an incredible punch, with powerful G-force, tight twisting layout, and relentless pacing throughout. I've ridden no less than 10 different versions of this coaster around the world, and I've enjoyed every single one, although I will say the one in Spain wasn't running quite as well as the others. Best Park Lineup, and the nominees? Cedar Point, Nagashima Spaland, Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags Magic Mountain, and Six Flags Great America. And the winner? Six Flags Great Adventure. Every one of these parks has an amazing lineup of coasters, but for me, Great Adventure has the best. You've got the greatest wooden coaster El Toro, the world's tallest coaster, the 128-mile-an-hour King de Ka. You've got an amazing hypercoaster in Nitro, one of the most forceful Batman clones, a flying coaster, a stand-up coaster, a floorless coaster, and a whole lot more. And next year they're getting an RMC single rail too. On top of that, they have the world's tallest drop tower, a bunch of interesting flat rides, and there's also a massive safari park too. It really has a fantastic lineup. For the next category, I've had to extend the number of nominees as there are just so many good coasters coming next year, and only one can win the title of the most anticipated 2020 coaster. And the nominees? Candemonium at Hershey Park, Fly at Phantasialand, Abyssus at Energylandia, Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa, Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando, Orion at Kings Island, Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure, Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and whatever the hell Power Park is building, which may or may not be an extension of the coaster Junker, or a new coaster entirely. But the winner is Iron Gwazi. This was really tough, but it's got to be Iron Gwazi. The prospect of another huge RMC to rival HAKUGEO, Zadra and Steel Vengeance easily makes it my most anticipated 2020 coaster. All I've seen of the construction of this coaster so far looks fantastic, and I can't wait to ride. Unfortunately, I never got to ride the original Gwazi, but from what I hear, the RMC makeover of it is going to be a huge improvement. It's set to open in spring, and I'll be keeping a close eye on the official opening date and booking my flight to Florida shortly after. There's so many good coasters coming next year that it looks like 2020 will be a fantastic year for coasters, but Iron Gwazi is definitely the one I'm most excited for. Best Themed Coaster. The nominees? Karnan, Star Trek Operation Enterprise, Dragon Gliders at Motion Gate, Taran, and Baron 1898. And the winner? Taran. Taran really was a landmark coaster in terms of theming when it opened. The whole area just looks amazing, with jagged rockwork, fantasy-style buildings, and an immersive soundtrack making for an absolutely wonderful experience. When stood in the Klugheim section of the park, it really does feel like you're in a different world. The level of detail on show is spectacular, and I don't think any park has come close to the level of immersion you have here. From the themed station and the hidden dragon in the rockwork, to the breathtaking night lighting and special effects, it really is a sight to behold. The ride itself is fantastic too, with an absolutely amazing second launch, and a really fun, twisty, intense layout with a few bits of airtime too. Taran is an absolutely stunning coaster, and I can't wait to see if Phantasialand can top it, when the new Rookburg section of the park finally opens. Coaster I most want to ride. Nominees? Soaring with Dragon, DC Rivals, Coaster in the Clouds, Taiga, and Flash, or its hypercoaster clone at Land of Legends. And the winner? Soaring with Dragon. So why do I rate this above all the other coasters I want to ride? The layout of this just looks absolutely fantastic to me. It starts with a triple launch with a massive reverse spike and a huge non-inverting loop, which I expect will feel like the one in Flying Aces, and I really enjoyed riding that earlier this year. The rest of the layout reminds me a lot of Intimidator 305, with high-speed airtime and low-to-the-ground twists as it races along the track. The theming of the coaster also looks quite nice, with a huge dragon statue. To me, this is a really unique coaster, and one day I hope to ride it. Best Halloween Event. The nominees? Not Scary Farm, Toverland Halloween Nights, Wallaby Holland Fright Nights, Lake Compound's Haunted Graveyard, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg's Howlow Scream. And the winner? Toverland. So apart from coasters, I really enjoy Halloween haunt events at parks, and the best I've been to is the one at Toverland. The atmosphere there is simply amazing, with fantastic use of lighting, smoke, and the park scenery. The design of the monsters is really creative too, with some truly unique monsters to haunt your nightmares. The whole park at night just looks stunning, and the haunts themselves are really well done and filled with good scares. Riding Troy at night in the dark is another reason to go, as it's a great wooden coaster that really comes alive at night. Hopefully I'll return to the Halloween event in 2020, as I'm sure it'll be just as good, if not better. So we've had the best, and now it's time for the worst coaster in the world. And the nominees? Any Vekoma Flying Dutchman coaster, any Zamperla Volair, Coaster Express, any Intamin Zaxpin, and specifically T3 of Vekoma SLC at Kentucky Kingdom, and the winner, or rather loser, Coaster Express. It's been many years since I rode this coaster, but the memory of just how bad it was sticks in my mind. The coaster is so rough, and I'm surprised it doesn't shake itself apart. The layout is absolutely rubbish too, with just long, uncomfortable helixes and no airtime whatsoever. This coaster is only really good for firewood, and I don't even think an RMC conversion to a hybrid coaster could salvage this dreadful ride. And so, that brings to a close my Coaster Awards of 2019, a year that saw the debut of some truly amazing coasters. Hopefully you've enjoyed these videos, as I've enjoyed shining the spotlight on some of my favourites around the world. I can only hope 2020 will be as good for coasters as this year's been, and hopefully it'll see me ride my 1000th coaster. To see how I get on at various parks around the world, and for more content from me in the new year, be sure to subscribe, and if there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. For now, I've been Rollercoaster David wishing you a happy new year, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video very soon.